my friends. It's Valerie. It's Stitching in the Barn, and this is a little YouTube channel about cross stitch mostly, some quilting and some other fun things that we all love to do, whatever I feel like talking about, really. It is Thursday, September 17th, and it's been quite a while since I saw you. I think it was August last. And I said I'd come back in September. I didn't mean it to be this late in September, but here I am. So you get what you get and you don't fret, right? We got my daughter off to school. Fingers crossed, everything's going well. It's a tiny little school, and I think I told you last time they've split it up so that only sophomores and freshmen are on campus for the first term, and then they switch and only juniors and seniors will be on campus, and that way they're able to give everybody a single room and spread them out as far as they can. And so far, no cases on campus, so that's really encouraging of the dreaded COVID. So I hope you all have been well and taking precautions and looking after yourselves and each other and getting lots of stitching done. I've been busy. I've been doing some stitching, but I think I told you we were going to finally get some work done to our house. Our living room has this old 60s paneling on one wall and a little corner wall. And we're going to get that taken off and have the stone pointed so it will be stone inside, which I'm really excited about. And of course we thought, well, if we're moving all the furniture out, we better do the floors at the same time. I can't remember if I told you this before, but the people who owned this house before us had put a piece of carpet down, not all the way to the wall, just an oblong piece of carpet, and stained the floors around the carpet. So when we took the carpeting out, there are these beautiful wide plank floors with a sort of, you can tell if you would sand them and finish them, they'd be a lovely honey color. But around them, there's this really dark brown stain in a oblong pattern around it, which is just funny and crazy. And we've lived with it like that for years and years and years. So we thought this is our opportunity to get it done. So that's what we're aiming for. And if you could see the chaos around me, you would laugh, because I'm sitting in our dining room and I have boxes and books and everything stacked all around me. We've taken everything out of the living room except the furniture and the television. So my job today is to go through these boxes and try and condense and get rid of some stuff. And then we're going to have to stack all the boxes elsewhere and bring the furniture in when they actually come. So I was going to say I'm going to be trying to come back every 2 weeks, which was my original thing that I did. I've really tried to be every 2 weeks talking to you guys, but the best laid plans of mice and men, things fall by the wayside or you get busy, and it's been more like once a month I talk to you guys, but it's not that I don't think about you, I do. But I'm thinking 2 weeks from now will be first week in October, and that's when all the chaos is supposed to be happening. There's supposed to be gobs of dust. We might even move out into the barn while it's going on, because they're going to take the old plaster off the wall, and that's going to create a lot of dust. And my husband and son both have asthma, and they don't need to be breathing that, so I doubt I will be back in the early October. It'll probably be mid-October, but we'll see. And I'll try and take some, I don't know if I'll do before and after. Well, I might do before and afters, or I'll do some progress work pictures that I can show you next time, because I find it very exciting. So, enough about that. What have I been stitching? I'm so proud of myself. I finished Brenda Gervais With Thy Needle and Thread Brick House Sampler. Yay! I love this pattern. I love stitching it. I was sort of challenged by Jen of Jen's Stitching Niche to do this, and she was going to do it on 46 count Beach Walk by Under the Sea Fabrics, so I thought I'm going to do that too. So I ordered the fabric from her, and it came, and I loved the way it felt. It's like a heavier weight fabric. Maybe it's because it's more densely woven, but it just has a lovely feel to it when I stitch in hand, so when I was stitching that, it just felt fantastic. But it took me forever. And somebody in the comments said, maybe because it was 46 count is why it took you so long. I'm like, well, maybe so. But other people managed it. But anyway, here it is. This light, the fabric is really showing up pink and blue, which it has a much more subtle pink and blue feel to it than that. Let me put something behind it and see if that changes it. And I think I had said my one regret was that I did it this way, whereas if you look at the fabric, the color kind of goes the other way. Kind of goes that way. And I think if I had oriented it slightly different, it might have looked like a beautiful sunset behind the house. Whereas now it just kind of looks like there's pink and blue in the fabric. I don't know. See what you think. It gives it a nice glowing effect. It's really coming out. Let me see if I get it more natural. Maybe it looks more like that. You really don't see the pink and blue so strongly when you look at it. But anyway, there it is. Finished. Yay! A wonderful woman in Denmark is my sort of pen pal, and she and I were supposed to be stitching as a stitch along together, and she finished hers at least a year ago. But it's done. Yay! So then I felt free to work on other things and launch into other projects, and I'm way, way behind. I belong to the Kim Deal Simple Whatnots Club. Kim Deal is a quilt designer, if you don't know, a fabric designer. And she runs a club where you get a monthly, for 8 months, you get a monthly kit. And they're little miniature quilts to do. She does full-size quilts as well, but this is just simply for miniature quilts. And I've subscribed, I think, for about 3 or 4 years. So I have a backlog of quilts to do, shall we say. So I'm trying to grab a few of those each month and do them. I subscribe. I don't know why my voice is going all funny. The excitement of talking to you, I guess. Pardon me, excuse me, I don't know why. It's like a double voice. But anyway, I subscribe through the Fat Quarter Shop. That's who I get the quilt kits from. So this was the one that I did this nice autumnal colors. And I even backed and bound it, so I'm very pleased with that. And this will just be a nice little thing to put on a table where you're doing your autumnal vignettes or something. And then in that particular month, they said, you've got enough left over, you can do this other one. I'm like, well, I gotta do it then. So here's the number 2. Oh, I should put something behind this too. Let's see. And they have cute names. I've forgotten what they are. I'm sorry. This one I need to put the binding and the backing and the binding on. But I also have to fix, I have a little oops on the seam. If you can see, that seam goes really crooked and this piece of black is too fat. Although this meets, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to even that out. I'll probably ease the seam a little bit here just to make it a little straighter so it's less noticeable. So I have to do a little finagling there, but other than that, I got 2 little mini quilts done in time to decorate. Well, I'm not going to do, I was getting all excited about decorating for fall, and then I thought, that's just when we're going to have these guys chipping the plaster off the wall and making a huge mess, and then they're going to have the floor people come in and do the floors, and I thought, how much fall decorating am I going to do this year? Probably not much. I will probably not do much fall decorating this year, to be truthful. But I will have a beautiful stone wall and shiny, happy floors. So I guess there's a trade-off. I'll show you, I was in the fall mood though, and I'll show you what else I've been working on. I pulled out an oldie goodie, Prairie Schooler Pumpkin Patch. I'm sure you all have seen this. See the yellow pumpkin, fat and round, growing in a patch on the ground. It will make a jack-o'-lantern with 2 big eyes, or maybe it will bake it into 2 fat pies. So I love that, and I want to do that forever. And I also would like to do this, but I had pulled out a piece of lamb's wool to do this on. And when I first started stitching on it, I thought, ooh, how heavenly and soft, which it is. But then I started feeling like it's actually more difficult. I might even put this one in a hoop because it's more difficult to stitch on than you would think, even though it's probably like, it's 32 count. So it shouldn't be that difficult, but because it's so soft, the holes kind of blend together, like the threads migrate from one side to another, kind of, if you know what I mean. And so you have to be a lot more careful than you'd think. So I'm thinking I'm going to put this in a hoop, which is when I say I stitch in hand, I do, except for certain occasions. Either if something's enormous, or if something is causing me fits, or I guess sometimes for over one I would do it. But this is as far as I got. I got tired of so much brown, and so I went running down here so I could start doing the house and some interesting things. This is all letters, of course. But it's fun. It's a much easier pattern, so I can do this when we're watching TV or something. In the evening. So that's that one. I have also been working on my Laurie Holt Prim series project for the Fat Quarter Shop. This is a series where Laurie Holt is also a fabric and quilt designer and works a lot in conjunction with the Fat Quarter Shop. And she designed a quilt that has, it is like prim applique, and it's very cute, bright, country sort of fun things. And this is a companion piece. This is like cross stitch to go along with it. So this one is called would have helped if I had prepared ahead of time, wouldn't it? Let's see. First one was patriotism and industry. Next was joy and contentment. And this one is called Peace and Plenty. And hold on. Here it is. So I've got the little angel started anyway. I am pretty proud of myself because it's a huge border, and I've got most of the border done all the way around. I just have a little fill in at the bottom. And that took a lot of doing. So while I was waiting for the third pattern to be mailed to me, I just kept working on the border. So I'm all set. I did make a little goof on her dress. I just need to add an extra row of blue here because to compensate for, I think this line should have been one over to this side, and I moved it over this way by mistake. So I will just add a little bit to her sleeve to compensate, but I'm not going to pull it out, believe me. No. Then I got ambitious. It is Sampler September, of course. So for Sampler September, I hemmed and hawed, and I was going to do a different one, and I didn't have enough floss and blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't do my Coming to America Brenda Gervais because I have the kit, I have the special bag that Jan Calvert made me, which I love. But I had checked, I wanted to use the called for fabric, and of course, they haven't got it yet. I should have said I would take a substitution, and in fact, I may tell them go ahead and give me something else because I've got FOMO, fear of missing out. Actually, that's not true. I'm ornery and I don't like to stitch everything everybody else is doing, like some of you other stitchers, but I've got plenty to work on. I don't need to worry about it, but I am excited to start it. And I guess you all saw Deb on Country Stitchers made the most incredible box. The whole kit comes in a little cardboard box with the design on the front. Well, she took that and I guess she decoupaged it onto a wooden box and added all kinds of trinkets. It's just really clever. So kudos to you, Deb. You clever thing, I said. So I have been working on, what did I do with the pattern? I just had it in my hand a second ago. Oh, here it is. Another Brenda Gervais. This is the one I chose for my Sampler September. It's Heart in Hand. Oop, I'll take it out of the plastic. You can see it better. Now, when I started stitching my flowers, it calls for parchment, and my flowers do not look white at all. They look kind of beige. So I'm not very happy with that, and I think I will switch those out for maybe, I might try oatmeal or something. But here it is. You can see my flower. It doesn't pop at all. And if you look at the pattern, the white pops more. It needs a little brightness. I'm trying to remember what fabric I'm using for this. It is a, it's a 36 Edinburgh Smoke Blue. I don't know who makes it. It's Weigart based. And I love it. I love the smokiness. I love the blue. I think it's perfect. I just think that that flower needs to pop more. And I'll tell you something funny. I am so cheap. I skimped on the fabric and did not measure properly. I was excited to get started and just dove right in thinking, oh, I've got plenty. And then I started to sweat it out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to make it. Because I had done this and then I got bored and I started this and I thought, oh my gosh, I better figure out if this is even going to fit at all. So I just worked straight down this left side and lo and behold, that's the bottom line, and here's the edge of the fabric. So I am just making it, and I figure this is one I'll have to try and frame myself because I wouldn't dare hand this over to any professional framer and go, here, good luck with that. I think what I'll do is I'll add a strip of fabric at the bottom and then I'll try lacing or gluing it myself. Oh, I picked up a stray thread here. Something like that. That's my plan. And we'll see how it goes, but I did make it. Yay! And I actually didn't have a lot of wiggle room at the top because if I had shifted it up to about here, that would have given me a tiny bit more room here, but not a whole lot. I mean, it really wasn't a lot of room to play with there. There it is so far. So I'm really having fun with this one. I'm enjoying it very much. Thank you, Brenda. And that's what I've been working on, I think. I think that's everything. I did pick a winner from last time, and they are going to get the Prim Village series pattern number 1 that I showed you. A brand new copy, courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop, of this one, Patriotism and Industry. And the winner for that is, I have it written down somewhere. I'm telling you, this room is a mess. My brain is a mess. Oh well, Julie Scott. And I had asked what were your plans for the rest of the summer, and she said she could not wait for summer to be over. She was too hot. She was enjoying sitting inside in the air conditioning stitching, and I thought, yeah, I get it. Although, and I think some of this is from, and I want to say I'm so sorry for all the people on the West Coast who are suffering through the fires. That's just terrible and devastating. And I have a son in California as well. You know, I hope you're all safe and my heart goes out to you. But even in Pennsylvania, like we've had hazy days the last couple days and the temperature suddenly dropped a few degrees and they said it was effects of the ash. So it just shows you how devastating those fires are. It's just awful. So hope you're all safe. Can't imagine. I guess what I will do is continue diving a little bit into the big box of patterns. I know we got as far as Beth Twist's Consider the Lilies. That's where I stopped. So hang on one second and I'll pull out. Okay, it's a little confusing where I stopped, but I think I think I'm on to a new section now. First thing I have here is Sue Hillis Designs Candy Corn Crazy, and I won this from Priscilla and Chelsea. Is this the one I won? I can't remember if this is the one I won. I won something Sue Hillis from Priscilla and Chelsea one time. But in this pack, oh, I had taken these to StitchCon because they're signed by Sue Hillis, who was there. I'm like, Sue, can you sign a pattern for me? She's like, sure. I'm like, and another, and another, and another. I think she thought it was a little nutty. So I have Candy Corn Crazy Volume 2, Candy Corn Crazy Volume 1, Merry Noel. This is like a band sampler. And A Study in Blue. And on the back of A Study in Blue, there's an ad for Broderie à Paris. And I would like to do that as well, but I don't have that pattern. But someday. I don't need any new patterns right now, but if I work through a lot of the patterns I have, then maybe I'll get another one. Maybe the next time I make keepsakes. Maybe she'll sign it for me. Okay, this is Historic Handworks, a Scottish reproduction. The Anne Hardy sampler, 1854. Typical Scottish sampler has a peacock, has... Well, the letters aren't quite as filigreed as you would think. But anyway. And actually it doesn't have a big house either, so I'll just have to take their word for it that it's a Scottish sampler. It does have the peacock anyway. Here's Sandra Sullivan, Homespun Elegance, Pin Cushions Aplenty. Was probably this acorn one that I wanted to do. Another Homespun Elegance. This is May and June meowie time. And the idea with this is you're supposed to make this little cat. I can't remember. I think I might have the pattern for him somewhere. And then he has little interchangeable pieces that you just stick on him. So the May and June was the bee skep and the little crow and the watermelon with the flag. Another Homespun Elegance. This is Sampler Woolly, and it comes with the little basket and wool to put in it. See? You make the little sheep and then he becomes three-dimensional, which I thought was very cute. I have a thing for sheep. Sounds funny, but... Homespun Elegance again, Country Spirits, delivering autumn. Again, I think I'm drawn to the three-dimensional thing if you put a couple little buttons on there. And the little star is very cute. It doesn't come with any of that, but you could find your own. This is Halloween Sampler 1 by Homespun Elegance. Sandra Sullivan again. Very cute. Don't have the button, or if I do, it's lost somewhere. I might have had that at some point. There's another button in the center that's like a little owl. Very cute. Patience, L. McNally. Now this looks more, the lettering looks much more Scottish because it has all the little curlicues around the letters. And this one is actually kitted up with very old DNC. I think I got this from my friend Kay because I think that's where I got this. Yep, it's got linen and floss. Here's an old Irish blessing. May you have warm words on a cold evening, a full moon on a dark night, and the road downhill all the way to your door. That's nice. I might tea and coffee dye the linen. That was a little kit. Here's Just Stitching Along, Miss Lucy Calcutt, 1825. That's a pretty one. Pretty sampler. I think Pam, Just Keep Stitching, was working on this. It's an old Leisure Art Christmas patches. He seems quite dated, but I still like him. I might do him someday. They show in the back, you can do him Gigundu on a big sack, so it can be like a big toy sack for Christmas time, which would be cute. But I don't think I'll be doing that. Here's Lila's Studio, Susanna Lynch, 1862. Love this so much. It's a reproduction sampler that Lila did last market, I think. And I still haven't figured out if it's Lila or Lila, but I hope to meet her this summer. And then she'll tell me in person how to pronounce her name. I actually owned the small version of this. She did do a version where it's just this part, and I bought the wools to do that. So I have effectively bought this pattern twice deliberately. Here's some more Lila Studio Let Freedom Ring. I won't get this exactly right, but I know that she was either studying architecture or her family is full of architects. Anyway, I just was drawn to this. This is Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the Continental Congress would meet. And the bell used to be in this bell tower until they thought that it was too heavy. Well, it was moved down from there, and you used to be able to go inside the building and see the bell. And then for the bicentennial in 1976, they built this glass pavilion across the street from Carpenter Hall, Independence Hall. And they thought they were going to have gobs of tourists for the bicentennial, which they probably did. And they thought this building couldn't handle so many tourists. So that's when the Liberty Bell got moved. But I love this. I just love this design, and I really want to do this sometime. I wrote to Lila, and I told her my family has a lot of architects in it as well, so that had Philadelphia architects, so it had a lot of significance to me. Here's a Quaker welcome. Love, 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 love this. Lila Studio again. This is a re-release of a pattern she'd done earlier. This is with the needle too. Gorgeous. Okay, so now we are moving on to other things. This is Long Dog Samplers Quilts. Quiltz, quilts with a Z. Always loved this. It has a beautiful autumnal feeling to it. And of course it has the quilts, which I love. So I'd love to do this one. Another band sampler feeling because it's up and down. I don't think I would do it on such a creamy white as they've done it. I'd find something a little different, a little more over-dyed effect, but I still love it. Lucy Beam Love in Stitches Maria Casson, 1822, designed by Rebecca Noland. I'm trying to think what really drew this. Oh, I think it was the verse. If I am right, oh, teach my heart still in the right to stay. If I am wrong, thy grace impart to find a better way. I think that's what it was. Pretty. It's got a little fruit bowl. Some trees. Not too complicated. All right. Another handful. This is called the Band Sampler. Again, homespun sampler. And this had thistles on it. And I could not resist it. And it has all kinds of Celtic designs in the pattern. Whether they're actually in the pattern or not, didn't matter to me. I saw that and I had to have it, the Scottish thing. I actually have this kitted with fabric. I've had this a long time, but haven't done it. Where have you heard that before? These are Celtic designs for sure. So that'll be fun to do. Bower Birds by Hello from Liz Matthews. So pretty. That's a new one from this year. Here's a Pennsylvania bird. Hello from Liz Matthews. Hello, Liz Matthews. Hello. I'm hoping to meet her this summer too. Let's see, Elizabeth's Garden, a coverlet sampler. Now this is an old Liz Matthews pattern. Old, old, old. But of course, I love it. Coverlet. What's not to love? This is a funny one. Vilcom Marnik Designs. I was going to change this up, the colors and the fabric and everything, but it's a real Pennsylvania Dutch, the distal finks. Although they're red, distal finks are usually yellow. Anyway, very typical sort of design. Here's Margaret and Margaret. Sampler stocking 1. Don't think I'll ever do this, but I have it, and it feels like I may have more than one. Maybe for grandchildren. I told you the story of my terrible children and the Christmas stockings. I made them all one, and they said, they're not big enough. I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So if my kids are listening, they need to get a move on, because if I'm going to have 6 grandchildren to do stockings for, I don't foresee that happening for quite a few years, truthfully. Nor would I want it to. My youngest child is still in college, so all in good time. I'm not pushing that envelope. All right, Phoebe Jane Turner sampler. This is not a very good picture, but I think it's kind of a fun one. Sarah Barker, needlework press. I think it's this I loved, this border. Pretty. I like the colors were sort of different. Here are some interesting ones that feel a little dated to me, but still have an appeal. They have a sort of quilt feeling to them. It's Plain and Fancy series by Linda Myers, M-Y-E-R-S, How Green Is My Valley. So when you do the little central motif, you then do all the little quilty figures around it. And maybe it's just the sort of pink and blue thing that makes it feel 80s to me. So you could change that up. Here's one that's more autumnal. This is called Under Prairie Stars. This one's called The Simple Life. I think, you know, what fabric you stitch it on would make a big difference too. This one's called Homestead Harvest. And this has much more of those Dimensions kit feel to it, you know, with the whole full scene kind of thing. I still like them though. Here's Maria Davis, a Bangor, Maine reproduction. Live in peace with all men. Besides it being a Bangor, Maine reproduction, I love that, live in peace with all men. We should all have that tattooed across our foreheads. Let's Dance by the Light of the Moon. This is Primitive Traditions. There. Let's. Why not? I think I would do this on blue fabric. I think that's maybe how it's intended, so you don't have to stitch all this. So I should find a piece of blue fabric and start that. Sarah Beecher sampler. This is a terrible picture. I'm just going to flash it at you because there's no point in showing it to you. I think this is another one I got from Kay because it's got the floss ready in the back. But you can, well, I'll just flash it at you. It has a thistly feeling to the border. Should I keep going? How much time have I put here? Okay, I'll keep going. Here's another Miss Mary Margaret wool, the primitive hair. And of course I had to have Miss Harriet hair to go with her. There's actually, yep, those are the two I think. I don't know if there's more in the series or not, but they're very cute. Hand cramp. Cinnamon Stars, Plum Street Samplers. Love it. Nice autumnal. Oh, we must be into Plum Street. Maybe I'll stop after Plum Street. That's a good stopping spot because I got a lot of these. Gather with squirrels. Simple, cute. Give with birds. Here's Rosewood Manor Antique Baskets. This is very old. I would say this is a definite 1980s pattern. You can hardly see the picture, but it's the alphabet, and each one has a basket with flowers. I'm not likely to do that, but you can spell out different things like welcome or whatever you want to spell out in the baskets. Samplers forever, Sarah Dodson. If all mankind would live in mutual love, the world would much resemble that above. Ah, very wise, Sarah Dodson. Samplers not forgotten, Liberty. Love this. Love this. Doggy, bicycle, willow tree, yellow house, bird on chimney, flag, flowers, flowers, simple little border, perfect. Scarlet House, Jane Cowie, 1850. I see people who've done this, Brenda and Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, and Laura's probably done it, and Nicole, and all of you people, Reese, everybody. And I go, yes, someday I'll do that too. Have these things and I don't start them. I don't know what my problem is. Scarlet House, Charlotte Frost. I love them so much, and yet anyway. Seeking Refuge. This one came out in Market. I love it, but I am going to change the words because it's too depressing to me. It says, when the world seems to be out of control, I find a way to nurture my soul, seeking refuge with needle and thread, the angst and anxiety no longer I dread. And I had thought of a different line to end it with, and I've forgotten what it was. I'll have to come up with something again, but it was more like, you know, something more positive, more cheery. I think I told you when I was a little girl, my grandmother used to sing a song of sixpence to me, and she told me that they had found it too distressing that the girl had her nose pecked off, so their mother had to improvise and said, you know, along came a Jenny Wren and popped it on again, and that was the final line for their song. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch out this last line. All apologies to Tanya Brockmeyer, the fabulous designer, but I don't want to write about angst and anxiety particularly. Another Scarlet House, Martha Pudsey. This is the one that Farm Girl calls these Christmas lights. I know Carol Saltbuck Stitcher's just been working on this one. Here's Anne Long. Oh, I love this one. The industrious bee extracts from every flower its fragrance sweet and mild balsamic power. Learn thence with greatest care and nicest skill to take the good and to reject the ill. By her example taught, enrich thy mind, improve kind nature's gift by sense refined. Be thou the honeycomb in whom may dwell each mental sweet, nor leave one vacant cell. I think that's brilliant. Love it. Here's the Smith sampler. Love the birds in this. So pretty. Here's Hannah Tingey, 1823. Lovely. Beautiful. Hope to do it someday. Sarah Elizabeth Brooke. No glory I covet, no riches I want. Ambition is nothing to me. The one thing I beg of good heaven to grant is a mind independent and free. This is on another thing I own that I want to do, because I love that saying. This is Sarah Elizabeth Brooke, Scarlet House. Fun brick house. Ooh, Rachel Howells, 1856. Glorious. Fabulous. Oh! Thus endeth the Scarlet House. Shall I stop there? I better. I might show you two more. Someday, these are some days. Someday I will do this. Shakespeare's Peddler, A Savior's Praise. I think this is wonderful. Love the border. She's incorporated all kinds of different things in the border. And couldn't resist. Fractor Friends. Had to have that. That's what Barb and Leanne and I are. Fractor Friends. So, Lost and Floss. In case you didn't get the reference. I will stop there. I do have another giveaway. Give me a moment to go find it, and I shall return. You would think I would be too embarrassed to show you if I had any haul after showing you all those patterns, but no. I have a few things here I will show you. I got, the first one is Mildred's Garden House. It's a Blackbird Designs, and I don't know if you remember, but I have a beloved Auntie Mildred. So I had to do this for her. So Mildred's House. I've always loved this one. It's Cottage Garden, Peace on Earth. Just think that's beautiful. That is done on 36 count Dove from Weeks Dye Works. Linen, if you're interested. Couldn't resist this. Jiggity Jig, Pineberry Lane. Halloween is coming. October's coming. And then a couple heartstring sampleries. This one I had never seen before. It's called Pincushion Street. It says, come in the evening or come in the morning, come when you're looked for or come without warning. Friends always welcome on Pincushion Street. And I love the color, the tealy blue of that house and the sentiment. I just thought that was really cute. And then this one too, Schoolhouse Coverlet Drum. In my drum obsession, drum pattern collecting obsession. I have yet to make a drum, let's be clear. And the final one I was going to show you. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I did get a few more, but I'm only going to show you this one. Ugh. I don't know where I put it. Okay. Hold on. Loved this from Market. Finally got it. Miss Mary Needleworker from Lindy Stitches. That's the fabulous Stephanie Webb. I think this is just darling. Love it. And got it. And I will show you what I was using to put behind the things that I was holding up to block the sun. Was a package from Shakespeare's Peddler. Zero, she's always had Zero, her little cat, on the outside. But now he's telling you good stuff inside. Look how cute that is. Thought that was darling. I don't think this is Zero because Zero is gray. But this little kitty's saying good stuff inside. So you know it's from Kitten Stitcher when you get that in the mail. You're like, hey. All right, hold one more time. Okay, so the next giveaway is coming to you courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop. They sent me an extra pattern that I would like to pass on to you since I'd already bought it myself. And it is the Fun Sew by Row by Lori Holt. So if you are interested in winning this pattern, tell me if you've ever sewn anything or what you like to sew if you are a sewer. And I'm talking not cross stitch, I'm talking about actual sewing, like with a machine. So either say, I've never sewn anything in my life, or I love to sew quilts, or I love to sew clothes for my grandchildren, or whatever it is you like to sew. Just use the word sewing. Don't say giveaway, don't say contest, don't say prize, don't say free. Be over 18, like and subscribe to my channel, like this video and subscribe to my channel. That would be very nice. Not a necessity, but it would be very nice. And I will pick a winner and announce it the next time I see you. So hopefully that will be early October. I think the big house project's going to be going on the first 2 weeks of October. So it may be mid-October, but hopefully sooner rather than later. We shall see. So until next time, I hope you're getting lots of stitching done, and I hope you're all safe and well and enjoying life. And I'll see you next time. Bye.